Well, what is Dennis Hastert? He's married to a woman.
Right. So what do we have to do before we go in the bathroom? We check our particular dysfunction at the door. I mean, who's supposed to be able to identify who these people are?
What happened to privacy?
Danger.
Again, we got 60 million babies, unborn babies, dead because of the privacy.
The right to privacy.
And now
absolutely.
the privacy is out the window.
Yep.
What's going on here? Well, what it is chaos.
Yep.
And chaos, where there's chaos, there's profit. And where there's profit, there's the Democrats, because they will tear this society up and just push it all out there and just lay it all open in order to stay in power.
That's power, is that other P word that I wanted to hear you say. It's power. And it's profit.
Profit and power.
Yep.
Yeah.
And perversion.
And perversion. Well, hold on. Is that the three P's? Because at the end of the day, their ultimate position is they want to remove this First Amendment. They're going after it.
They want to remove the Constitution in its entirety.
Well, they might not be able to remove the Constitution altogether, but if they can tear at it just a little bit at a time, the Second Amendment is next. Matter of fact, you notice that the police had no involvement in these riots at all. We've seen a repeat of Ferguson. We've seen a repeat of Baltimore where they just stand aside. The mayor just talked about how she just watched a guy beat a police car, stomped on a police car, cars spinning around in circles, running over Trump supporters. Whether you like him or not, we have a First Amendment. And the First Amendment protects all speech, what you like and dislike. It's a lot that we don't like about what Democrats do.
Well, it's particularly meant for political speech. Go back and look at, we've looked at history, through the prism of look for specific things. But when you look at the speech, they had pictures of Abraham Lincoln up in a tree, calling him a baboon. That was protected speech. I mean, it was bare knuckles back in those days. I mean, but today, what happens? I mean, if you say something like something innocent, you're branded as a racist. Now, I haven't heard.
You can just say that we want to protect our women from illegals that's killed people in sanctuary cities.
You're racist.
And all of a sudden, now you have all these dreamers out there calling him all kind of names, waving not an American flag. I see no American flags out there waving Mexican flags.
Exactly right.
Well, you know what? You can use a properly defined dictionary word. You can use a properly defined dictionary word in righteous indignation over the judiciary with a stroke of a pen. Denying the will of the people, and you can get run out of office.
Yes. And this is why I'm saying I'm very unhappy with the direction of the Republican Party, because they do not circle the wagons, they do not defend each other.
Oh, they circle the wagons, but then they start shooting inward at the person that they don't think is good enough for their elevated standards.
So this is why we have to be very, very careful about what's going on. I mean, when I said about people that I admired and I looked up to and got my directions from early in my life, they backed up and said that Trump wasn't conservative. And so that is good enough reason for them. I'm talking about people like Thomas Sowell, Mona Charen. I mean, I got a picture with her that I've had a very prominent place in my house. I had a picture with her, and I thought, my goodness, this is a woman that and she had said that she was against, with National Review. She wrote an article in that.
I stopped listening to Mark Levin, and I love Mark Levin.
Yes. Well, here we getting to where what we're saying the Democrat Party is I don't want to be in that same position. Absolutely, I respect anybody. They can say they don't I wasn't for Romney. I wasn't for McCain
exactly.
either. I wasn't for neither one of those either. But
I got out of and pulled the lever for these people.
Towards the end, I did.
Yeah.
You know, for a while it took me a long time. Right now, it's taking me. I'm not behind Trump yet. You know.
Well, I hear you.
But here, my theory is, I would not let him. You know, it's going to be even worse than what Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
I believe that we can work with Donald Trump.
That's
And second, you know, absolutely. Is he a conservative? No, he's not. Mm-hmm. But Trump don't really identify as an ideologue. We have to just identify with that, right? You know, he identifies as somebody. You know, I can work with this person. I can work with that person. But go ahead.
Well, I just want to, because we're getting close to the break, I want to get in our callers right quick. We're going to go to line one with Scott from Saline. Good morning, Scott.
Hey, good morning. I wanted to fact check something with you before I had a couple of comments. The riots in 1968 were not Democratic riots. They were riots against the Democratic Party. They didn't want Hubert Humphrey to be president.
Yeah.
And they felt that Johnson's war policy was wrong.
Yeah.
So the people who were there were not Democrats. They were not Democrats rioting against Democrats. This was generally anarchists and hippies who wanted to riot against the Democratic Party.
Yeah,
so when Democrat riot.
Well, the hippies weren't Republicans, were they? Were the hippies Republicans?
No, they wasn't.
No, they weren't Republican. They were anarchists, or they were socialists, or they were communists, but they weren't Democrats.
Democrats are socialist, communists.
Democrat riot is wrong.
Yeah. But here's the thing. They spun it to say that it was a riot by the police. I'm just clearing up your mistake on this. Yeah, I admit to that I said 1964.
It was 68.
68, exactly right.
And I guess the other couple of comments I had is, Mayor, when you go into a woman's restroom, are there doors on every stall?
Yes, there are.
Okay. So you would not know whether a transgender person is next to you in a stall using it or not. Is that correct?
Well, there's also the common area with the sinks and etc. So when you walk into a woman's bathroom, you are in a public place with a number of other people, and yes, you do go individually into a stall.
Okay.
I think, Scott, what I was trying to say...
And we know who's standing next to us, but you would have no way to know one way or the other.
That's correct.
But it doesn't make any difference. But because what you are expecting is the sense of being able to have a sense of privacy that the people that you are in there are going to be like you.
Probably been in restrooms where transgender people have been using them.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying a little earlier, is we don't know for forever. There have been poor people who feel a sense that they might be something other than what God made them, and I feel sorry for these people. I really, really do. And if I happen to go into a bathroom and I see a woman that seems like she's a little more masculine, that could be God's person too, you know. I mean, everybody's God's people, so she may be a more masculine-looking female, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she has a package of a man.
That's right.
But my point is that in a woman's restroom, and I've been a janitor before, I've never seen a woman's restroom that doesn't have doors on the stalls.
What does that have to do with the what does that have to do with the man who dresses up like a woman specifically to go into a woman's bathroom? Because now all of a sudden law is telling us we have to have men use women's bathrooms. How does that equate?
I guess my concern is more with priests, ministers, and people like Denny Hastert, GOP people, who I have to worry about being around my son.
I agree with that.
So for you to claim that it's a transgender problem, I'm much more concerned about priests and ministers.
But you're only talking about transgender. You don't. Again, we talked about. You don't know what his particular proclivity is.
When all
you
of a
don't
sudden
know. He might just get off looking at somebody.
Why do you assume that the proclivity of a person who's transgender?
Well, a picadillo or whatever.
Or whatever.
Scott, when the law forces us...
You're saying that the proclivity of these people is to go in and look and peek. I'm asking you why you believe that. If why is that the case any more than Denny Hastert or a priest or a
Because Denny Hastert was, for all intents and purposes, a normal person.
And
Didn't have
Denny
any.
Hastert is now spending time in jail, Scott. You see, the law is being used to protect the people against men like Denny Hastert.
That's right.
But now we are trying to create a law to protect a man who wants to go into a woman's bathroom as if that's his legal right.
That's right.
When it was transgenders that we did not know about, that's one thing, and that's a sad truth of humanity.
Mayor, I have to disagree with you. I'm more concerned about men who hide the fact that they're closeted gays.
Okay, well, let me ask you, because we're running out of time. Let me ask you this question.
He was a closet homosexual. He wasn't closet gay. He was a closet homosexual.
But the question that I would like to ask you is, would you like to see only women, outwardly noticeable women, go in the women's restroom, and Katie bar their door for the men's restroom? Nothing but women and children in a.
Say that again. Outwardly what? Outwardly, they look like women. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, women and children go in the women's restroom, and anybody can go into the men's restroom. How about that?
Well, transgender people mostly look like the gender that they are becoming, women or men. So yes, it's totally fine with me that they go in looking like a woman.
Yeah,
it's
but
totally
the problem, Scott,
like a man.
as I've said, Scott, the problem is that we are codifying the man being able to go into a woman's bathroom, and that is where the danger lies. Yes, it is.
And you see, you notice that these people that call themselves this transgender, homosexuals, and all this, they represent less than 1% of our society, and now we're supposed to change all laws, all behavior. We don't
them.
And to suit them.
It's the whole idea of it is special rights for
and these are special rights.
Yeah, and that goes against everything. That's why they are against the Constitution. The Constitution says everybody's created equal, and you treat them that way. But
thank you, Scott,
they want special. They want it to be special. They want to use both bathrooms, and on Sunday, who knows? You know? So, anyway. We are going to break, and when we come back, we are going to have a little discussion about the environment, and we'll be back after these messages.